Hello Surya.
Hi.
First of all, it's great to see you here in Polachi. So could you please tell us if you had played here before?
I played in 1990
1990. Okay.
and there was a very funny incident. I missed my national under 10 championship because of Mahabharata. I needed a draw in the final round, but the rounds were starting at 8:30 and back then Mahabharata would start at 9 o'clock, and that day Arjuna would kill Jayadratha, and that was far more important for me. I was playing against Punjab's Naveen Jain, and in a completely winning position I just played very quickly, blundered, gave away pieces, resigned and came back. And my mom was waiting outside the tournament hall, and she's like, what happened? And like, okay, I lost, but doesn't matter, we have to go and watch the Mahabharata. Well, I could not watch the Mahabharata, but next year I won under 10 and 12, but that year I missed. And also this was a very important lesson for me in general, because for let's say for our family it was very important that I win this tournament, and we can get some sponsor or play in World Under 10 and so on. But the lesson for me was that my mom never scolded me for this. Like, she knew that okay, I did it because I don't understand the importance of it, and that kind of stayed on with me. Because nowadays when I see parents put a lot of pressure or sometimes physically beat them or scold them, I don't think you can get the best when you are kind of giving too much pressure. So for me this was a very important lesson, and next year I could play more freely, and then I won some nationals here.
Great. That's a great piece of advice that you shared right there. So coming to the tournament, you had some pretty decent games and some wonderful games also. Namely, the game against Sankalp Gupta that you had was one of the crazy games. So if you can take us through that game.
Well, yeah, the results were pretty decent. I think I won 4 games, I drew 3 games. The only game where I was shaking was against Sankalp. I was completely lost, but I think I was more close to winning, despite being, having losing position throughout the game. Still, I was more close to winning, because there was one moment which you also captured in the video. He makes a move with 2 seconds on the clock. Okay, he does that, and then he gains 32 seconds. And his next move is absolutely forced. He has to play A1 Queen.
Right.
Sankalp had 32 seconds, and he starts thinking. I'm like, okay, he will play A1 Queen. There is nothing else he can do. Otherwise, he can lose. And he's not playing. Yeah, he's not playing. At some point, I see 2 seconds. He's still not playing. He comes down to 1 second. My heartbeat stopped literally. And the guy is like, at this point, he wanted to play knight d4. Yeah. If you check the video, he was almost about to play knight d4. Yeah. And then he decides, no, not knight d4, I have to queen. And still there is 1 second, picks up the queen, puts it on the board, bangs the block, and somehow makes it, like barely. It was very funny.
Exactly. And also against Swapnil also, that was a nice game that you played.
Yeah. So like after the opening I had some significant advantage. Then I made one inaccurate move, and it got it got more or less, we reached a position where black should be fine. I mean, he can defend, but he had this structural weakness, which meant even if computers are giving only slightly worse, he really has to play another 100 moves, no matter how he is choosing to defend. And at some point we got to rook pawn endgame, which was also possible to defend, but again with this time control and when you have this bad structure, it's always very difficult. Towards the end, he made some inaccurate move, and I think I won the game after 92 moves or 93 moves.
Right. Which game would you consider as your favorite game from the tournament?
I think the easiest and cleanest was against Sayantan, where around move 5, his fourth move was bishop d6. So it started with c4 e6, knight f3 d5, e3, c6, knight c3, bishop d6. And when he played bishop d6, I was like, okay, I'll probably play b3 or something. And then suddenly it struck me, he has not played knight f6. So maybe this is a good moment to play e4. Now, it's also very unusual in any opening that, on move 6, you're playing e3 and then e4. Or let's say d3 and d4. So, on move 3, I played e3, and move 6, I'm playing e4. And it was also funny that this move e4 works only because he played bishop d6. If his bishop would be on f8, I still cannot play e4 because he has d4. So it's specifically in this position I can play e4. So I got very quick grip on the center and then got space advantage, and then it was very smooth. Well, as a team, there were of course lots of hiccups, and not all the players were in shape, but that's also very natural. For instance, even Adiban losing first round, okay, one can understand. I mean, he played Vaik and came back all the way, so it must be there has to be some sort of exhaustion. And honestly, I am playing this double round thing after a long time, and not exactly what to say, used to it. And I very strongly feel that this is probably the worst thing possible, and I really mean it. Like, to have these double rounds, it's completely kills. And most of the players are staying far. I remember this Swapnil game. The first round game was with Sankal, which went all the way to King.
Right.
And we were staying in some 30 minutes away someplace. I went to the place, I had lunch, didn't even have 5 minutes to hit the bed, and then came back and played 92 moves. So yeah, it would be really nice if we can get rid of these double rounds, or reduce the number of rounds, like to do something where at least in national championships, when it comes to team events or national seniors, all these important events, if we can avoid double rounds, I understand it increases the budget, but it also improves the quality of the games, and it is very, very beneficial for the players. So this would be, I think, my main request. Whoever can change this to make single rounds. And as a team takeaway, yeah, I think it's part of the game. Like, sometimes you just know that some players are not in shape, and okay, what to do. Mm-hmm. So whoever are in shape, they have to play more number of games, which is what we did here. I mean, Karthi and Adiban played 9 games, I played 7 games. So we did whatever we could do. And also, okay, AI played fantastic. We were a bit unlucky also with AI, because Vaibhav had a fantastic position.
Yes.
There was no way he was going to lose it. But in a game, anything can happen. So.
And finally, if you want to tell something about your institute, who you are representing, what contribution they have in your life, or as a chess player, and also personally.
Oh, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. So we are representing PSPB, Petroleum Sports Promotion Board, which is like from different companies. There is Indian Oil, ONGC, BPCL, etc. And I can speak about myself, and also pretty much on behalf of all the players, that the contribution Petroleum Sports they have given to us is it's very difficult to explain in words actually. Like, I can tell you one thing, like, without Indian Oil I would not have been playing chess. There was a point when I was seriously considering that I cannot continue playing chess because of the financial crisis, and at that junction Indian Oil gave me a job and took care of everything. So likewise, this is applicable for many players who were struggling financially, and once these things are taken care of, and not just about it's not just about salary or let's say taking care of the Indian tournaments, international tournaments, also the medical for all the family members, but above everything, the mental support and the emotional support I get from my company, it's huge. They're like always there. When I'm playing good, when I'm playing bad, irrespective of my results, they are there to motivate and support. So this is a great blessing.
Thank you, Surya, for sharing your wisdom with us. It's always great to see you play, and also always great to talk to you. Thank you so much. We wish you all the very best for the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thanks. Take care.